been able to hit. I can't hit.
It's on. Ooh.
LRA, it's locker room access after dark, and I guess I'm the only one in the light. So where's everybody at? They're gonna come in one by one, I believe. We got a candle burning in parts unknown. Mark Jerome's in the house. His son just played for the Cavaliers and beat who'd they beat? OKC. Dave the Wave.
One against number one right there.
We're gonna go 2 for 2. Oh, look who it is.
We're back.
Big Ski.
It's time. We're back. Late night game.
Connecticut, Columbia, Florida, and Charlottesville. We got Spensky in the house. Let's go.
Can we get some New York City love too, Dougie?
I'm talking about that's only where Spencer's been the last month. Columbia, 3 cities there, I think, 2 or 3. He's Connecticut, I assume, for the holidays a little bit. Now he's in Florida and vis-a-vis.
Hey, I was in New York too. Don't forget for a couple of
New
minutes.
York. Stop with New York. Good try. That's Marky.
Welcome, guys. Welcome to
Marky's dealing with congestion pricing.
Oh my gosh! Don't get me started, Spence. Please, Spence. I'm in a good mood right now. Cavaliers are 1 for 1 so far right now. Going for 2 for 2. Don't get my blood pressure boiling, please. I just saw. Okay, now that you got me started on it, I just saw a congestion cost pricing hack on Instagram. Dougie, I was watching this. You go up 9th Avenue at 59th Street, 60th Street. You make a left to go west. There's a parking lot between 9th and 10th. You drive through the parking lot. You come out the other side of the parking lot on 60th or 61st. Right? You beat the congestion pricing, whatever it is, toll, and then you start to go uptown.
You know what the only problem with that is? Everybody's going to go that way now. It's going to take you like 2 hours longer than normal.
Well, if people are actually going to drive now because it's going to be so freaking expensive, but if people do figure it out, they will go that way.
But it's not for you. It's for out of towners, right? Yeah.
What's that?
It's for out of towners, not for people like you.
It's for everybody.
Even if you live in the city?
Yeah.
You're already paying taxes. Really? I didn't know that.
61st Street and you have to go to 49th Street and you drive, right? That's why I city bike everywhere now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was doing that prior to this, but
I remember me and you were the greenest guys in the New York, in the tri-state area. Trains, walking, city bikes, biking. That's it. Go green.
Let's get to it. What a unique situation for ACC play for you.
It is.
Debbie, could you imagine when you play? You guys.
Well, I can tell you, I was thinking about this.
Okay.
Because my second year, so sophomore year, we played the Great Alaskan Shootout. That same year, we played at Stanford and at Marquette. So I don't remember, and Hav would remember if he was here because he's great at this. I think we came from Anchorage to California, played Stanford, got our asses kicked. Then we played at Marquette.
Spence, can I hit the bell? It's late night.
No, late night. It's all.
Yeah, it's just,
no.
Jimmy Kimmel. Yes, there you go.
No dinging.
And then we played. Then we went to Marquette for New Year's. It had to be 2 separate trips. Doesn't matter. We did do this, and I'll tell you what. It was tough. It wasn't. We beat Marquette in double overtime. The refs cheated their asses off. Completely cheated us. Yes, no holds barred tonight. Anyhow, we were 1 for 1 on our Midwest swing, but we got demolished by Adam Keefe, who gave us like 37. Ted Jeffries has great stories about that. We'll bring TJ on for the Stanford game. Everybody be excited about that.
Yeah, but this is part of the league now.
Yeah.
So all the teams are traveling, unless they only play them once, right? And I don't know if we're playing them once, twice, but if you have to play them just to go out there every year, and I don't know if we're all – Dave, you probably know the schedule really well.
Yeah, so with so many teams now, with 18 teams and only 20 conference games, they're actually talking about taking it down to 18. which would mean only one team you play twice every year. So we only play a couple teams twice.
Yeah, but that's fortunately they can do Cal and Stanford in the same weekend.
And in the same breath, we've already traveled to SMU, which is it's not like going to Raleigh or going to Clemson or going to Maryland, right? It's a little bit of a trip. Trips are different. I'm telling you, trips are different in college.
I hope they all get frequent flyer miles.
Oh, no, they're private, right? They don't fly on airlines.
Yeah, I think someone had said it earlier that Virginia got the quote privilege of being the only team to have to travel to the 3 new teams in the first year.
Yeah,
that's right.
Wow.
Right, but it's amazing that you're having an 11 o'clock game on a weekday. But fortunately, it's happening during winter vacation, right?
Yeah.
Spence is home. Vince is chilling in Florida with his family, and so because of his 4th year, what'd you say, Dougie?
Spence is always chilling. Let's get that straight.
Well, let's hold on.
He figured it out early.
We are on quite a road trip right now, but that has allowed us to do something special. Do we want to talk about that? What we got going on with the shoes?
Oh yeah.
So what we've done, Locker Room Access, we've done a collab with the team and with eBay. And what we're doing is we're getting all of the players Kobe shoes, and we're getting all of the coaches some limited edition shoes for this road trip. And after the trip, we're going to auction them off on eBay, with eBay doing their NIL pilot on the Locker Room Access eBay page. And all the money from the coaches' shoes are going to go to the UVA Children's Hospital in honor of our friend Phony Bennett. And all the money from the players' shoes are going to go to them for NIL.
Yeah, our founder, TW, has
TW.
there's such an incredible program that he's working on, that he's worked on, and that he's able to accomplish, and where everybody's winning, right? The Children's Hospital is winning. The players are winning, the coaches are winning, and giving us great publicity for such a great event and a great cause, and in honor of our guy Phony Bennett, who we all dearly miss. So hopefully he's where he can hear us in spirit, and he understands what we're doing, and hopefully this benefits a lot of people too. This is such a great TW is such a great dude, and he's such a generous guy in every part of his life, right? And we need to make sure that he deserves and gets all the respect for that. He's this is such a great idea, and how many people will benefit, and hopefully it'll catch on with more teams, and more people will be able to benefit positively.
Oh, great idea! That'd be a great movement, Spencer. Can you lead that? That's a great way to think about it, Marky. Next level.
Yep. So, and TW will be at the game tonight. He's in San Francisco. He lives in San Francisco. We're outside of San Francisco. I'm sorry, in Berkeley at the game tonight. And then when did they play? We play Stanford on Saturday.
Yeah,
when is it?
4 o'clock on Saturday.
Yep. So I'm sure he'll be at that game as well. Well, it's a great event for him. Great. While we're all kind of complaining about it and criticizing it, ACC.
Yeah.
Virginia.
Yeah. If anybody deserves it, it's TW, right? To be able to stay in the confines of his own area and drive to the game, and hopefully get good tickets from Jason or whoever.
I guarantee you will see it behind the bench.
Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah, he's the number one UVA fan. My meeting him was great because I got to meet him. Ty's junior in college, came to a high school game with his brother who lives downtown in New York City, and another mutual friend. So T-Dubs is so passionate about his support for UVA basketball. It's such a great. He founded this whole operation. He's the reason why we're on this show tonight. Hopefully, giving you guys some good information, and hopefully talking up and encouraging our guys to win a game tonight. It's going to take more than us.
Let's go.
Dave, let's get to it. The last game, I think Dave froze on me for saying, okay, there you go. Let's just talk about our game against Louisville and what we didn't do, and then let's talk about what we need to do tonight, back on the winning side.
Boy, versus Louisville, Doug and I had talked about it kind of privately too. Is going back to NC State game, we were just so pleasantly surprised at how quickly they were initiating offense during that game. A lot of initiation of offense, a lot of shots with 15 seconds or more in the shot clock. People were looking to actually score when they caught the ball. And I think that was the starkest difference between that game and the Louisville game. Lots of standing around, lots of passing back and forth, which we've kind of commiserated about over the last couple of years. It seems whenever they struggle offensively, lots of standing around. I'll go back to a quick story. When I played college ball, D2, I remember our coach called timeout one time. We were like one of our last 10 shooting, just couldn't make a basket. And we got into the huddle, and he didn't say focus. He didn't say, oh, shots will start falling. He's like, you guys are lazy on offense. You guys need to put better effort on offense. And that's why you guys are missing shots. And I saw that Ron actually mentioned it in the post game. He talked about a lack of energy post game, and I kind of saw that on offense. I think it takes energy, obviously, on both ends. You have to play with intentionality, with energy on offense, and we don't have the athletes, especially at the guard positions, to get us out of trouble under 8 seconds in the shot clock like we have had in the past. And with this team, when they're not intentional about getting into offense quickly, you saw what happened against Louisville. I mean, another stinker offensively, 50 points, just lots of standing around in corners. I saw, if there was a pick and roll, if there was some sides action, there wasn't a whole lot going on the other side either. So the opponent gets to rest when that's happening, right? And then that turns into them having confidence on offense. A lot of times people forget it's not football. It's the same 5 guys playing on both ends of the court. And when you get a rest on defense and you're not having to run around, you have legs on offense, and then all of a sudden that kid Smith goes 5 for 10 from 3, not having really to guard anybody on offense. I'll just say that when I was a player, I like to guard the worst player on defense so I could save my energy on offense, right? I mean, whenever I could, I did that, or coach would rotate us, right? So we wouldn't have to, especially when I had to play every minute of every game, right? So that's really what I saw the most of last game was just that lack of energy on offense and not getting into sets quickly, walking the ball up the court. So the first pass in the front court's at like 19 seconds instead of 24 seconds. It makes a difference, right? So, so that's what I'm looking for tonight, to see if they can be more aggressive offensively. Look at the basket. If Kofi catches, look to take it. If Day catches, look to take it. At least make your man think you might make a move, right? So that's a big thing.
One, Dave, first of all, hello to Jen and everybody else for joining us. Thank you. 2, Dave, we all really appreciate your candid and honesty about your defense, right?
Exactly.
3, I typically object to that type of coaching where you're just yelling, stop being lazy, be more energetic. People need instruction.
Yeah.
What exactly do you want us to do, right? So sometimes that what people view as laziness or confuse as laziness is sometimes like, I'm confused. I might be confused about what the defense is doing. I might be confused what the other coaches, what they've employed now, or what they've implemented as a defensive system. What are we doing as coaches, right? How are we going to beat and make adjustments to what the defense is doing, right? And so I can't, and I'm not saying that's what Ron did. I'm just saying when you made that comment about your coach, I think it's really important for coaches to say, we're going to run this quick hitter. We're going to set the screen here. You're going to go backdoor here because your guy is turning his head. Whatever it might be, there has to be some infusion of strategy, and it can't just be stop being lazy. You can't just. That's coaching is not screaming at guys.
Right.
There's got to be lots of instruction that makes you a better coach. Preparation and instruction during games, right? And connection with the players. Right. And you're not connecting with players if you're screaming at them, calling them lazy. Right. Yeah. Now, if somebody really is being lazy, okay, challenge them. I get that.
Right.
For the most part, if you're scoring 30, 40, 50 points, what are we doing? What adjustments are we going to make to get more shots up or to get the right shots up? Right. And I think that's critical in every team's success. Right. And that's where coaching can really make the difference. Right. And we had Dougie, you were on this podcast with me a while ago. We were interviewing, I forget who we were interviewing, some coach. And it might be, I forget who it was. He was talking about the difference between Tony Bennett and another coach who I'm not going to name right now. He said the difference between those two coaches was the detail that TB provided during his practices, right? I hate to call them little things, but we'll just, for sake of argument today, we'll just call them little things, right? How you set that back pick, how intentional are you in setting a ball screen, or how you come off of it shoulder to shoulder, whatever it is defensively.
Yeah.
Right? All those things make a difference instead of saying we're just going to run something and we're just going to run a system. It's a big difference.
Yeah, there's a huge difference in just saying go screen. All right, go screen there and come off the screen. But no, how do you screen? How do you come off the screen? I think that's what you're saying.
Absolutely. And not only that, when you're setting a screen guard, make sure, because it's at least high school. You see it sometimes in college too. High school refs' favorite call is the moving screen. So I tell my guys, make sure you are set on that screen, and guards, don't you dare move until you know that screener is set. Right? It's their favorite call they let guys beat each other up, going over the back. They let guys throw elbows at each other, whatever it is. But they 100%. Love to change the game on that call.
On the Louisville game, they called about 5 of those.
I try to articulate this in words, and it's impossible, Mark. What you said is setting a screen's easy. You just go stand somewhere, right? You're Jack Saul. You stand here. Using the screen is the hard part. That's exactly what you said. Don't use the screen until the guy's set. Just, wait, and then use it and rub off of him. Anyhow, I'm just, that part drives me crazy.
Well, and Doug, to your point, Mark, too, I'm a Celtics guy, right, Ben, since I was 5. So I watch Hauser come off screens for the Celtics right now. Our fellow who. And I'm watching Hauser come off of screens, and it's night and day from what I'm seeing from the Who's the last year and a half, being able to utilize those screens. Kyle Guy coming off screens, obviously master at it, right? It's not just that he had Mamadi and Jack and Jay setting screens. It's that he knew how to get that little crack. And you watch the NBA game, and Mark, you're watching a ton of it now. Those guys just need an inch coming off that screen, knowing that trail guy can't run into them because they call all those fouls now. And those guys just rise up right off that screen. And our guys, it feels like the last year and a half, 2 years, have not mastered that art of being able to get that crack and being confident to know that trail guy, he can't touch you. Like, because you're airborne already, he can't do anything to you. But obviously the pros are good at it for a reason. That's all they do all day, every day. But in watching, again, watching the Celtics Cavaliers game, just watching the art of how they play around each other, and then some of that game tonight, it's just such night and day. It's almost like a different sport from what we're watching with the UVA guys.
It is, but NBA is also much different in the strategy of defending the screen, right? Because the centers are always in drop coverage.
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
And they have to be, because the guards are so talented and so fast that they're just going to go right around the bigs. And I know I don't agree that I'm not an NBA coach. I don't necessarily agree with the drop coverage, but I guess you hope for the best. You just do what the data says. Try to block a shot and just hope the offensive player misses. Like, there's no way to stop a Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Right. He's just, no matter who's guarding him. Right.
Well, I like the way that they stopped him tonight. In the fourth quarter, they went to double team high 2-man zone at the top. Ty was doing it with Garland, and then Garland was doing it with Donovan too. And they were just saying someone else could beat us.
Did you see my poor baby dribble down court? How high he got up on that left layup?
That was nice.
Was that 15 points?
Did you see Jalen Williams hit him?
He had 15 points in 12 minutes, and you knew Mark was going to say, but he missed a free throw and he had a terrible turnover. So
yeah, but forget the turnover. He stole it directly from the MVP candidate. Directly.
Right. Well,
so anyway,
that's one of his best friends. But let's move on from the OKC game, because I think
there's no best friends inside the lines, Mark. Stop that.
No, you know what? Okay, all right. I'm going to go back to the game for one more point.
Okay.
Right? And I don't like this. I always look to see who my kid hugs and talks to after the game and all that.
All right.
Still feeling like, you guys just played. You guys are enemies on the court. Don't hug. Don't give high fives or whatever. Shea Gillis, who's his, after DeAndre, his second best friend, walked off the court tonight. And I was happy about that. People texted me, Shea walked off the court. Like, good. He should. Remember the rivalries of the 80s?
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah, exactly.
that's what I want to see in the NBA.
Remember
Yeah, but they're
Knicks in
gonna
the
go
heat of
home
the
and play
90s shaking hands.
Fortnite on together against each other or some shit. So it's whatever they do. It's
true.
so
That's the
different.
last one I'm making about the game. But no,
Player, what does that mean? Chastity, what are you talking about? Can I get some predictions for player props?
Prop bets,
Four
like who's
players
going to have
in
5
college,
assists
in the
or
college
10
game, and I've been
rebounds
playing the
or
last 2 years.
all that good.
Chastity, we don't bet here,
What is
girl. Is Niles Cooper new?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yes, he is. Niles Cooper is a.
All right, he must be in the Bay Area or something.
Brand new. Thanks for jumping on, Niles.
X Factor, who's going to be chasing Little Pedro around? That's my question.
Must be what?
Who's going to
you're
be
talking
chasing Little
defense,
Pedro
Dave.
around?
Dave's
what-
focusing on defense for once. Wow.
Well, I noticed
You know what?
he's
Dave
only
would
shooting.
have-
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, Andrej Stojakovic, he's only shooting.
Power. Dave, you go.
Okay. He's only taking 5 threes a game, and he's shooting 14 times a game. That means he's taking 9 twos. And I was watching some tape. He goes back door. They pull the bigs out, so there's room for him to go back door, so people can't just deny him the ball on the wings. And there's actually they have four guys who are all shooting at least 4 threes a game. So to me, that's one of the keys. Obviously, we know about the pack line not getting out to the threes. They shoot a lot of them, and their guards shoot a lot of them. But Andrej, he does not shoot a lot of them for a shooter, scoring 20 a game. 9 out of his 14 attempts a game are twos, and it's not
How big is he?
He's a solid 6'6".
I thought it was 6'9", Dave. 6'6". That's it.
Maybe he's 6'7". I mean, he's a little bit of a non-athletic 6'7", so I give him 6'6".
6'7".
Yeah,
he's listed 6'7" on
6'7". A lot like same size as Rhodey, basically.
Right.
Wait, Rhodey's not 6'7".
He's 6'6" and long.
I've heard
play like it because he's always crouched down pointing, but.
So I'm gonna.
Rhodey in real life is not. He's maybe 6'5".
No,
he's about my height.
Maybe you know better than me.
Brody listed as 6'6", Spence, but you walk past him.
I mean, I walk next to him, and he doesn't look very much taller than me. So
Spence, but you have the fletch afro too.
That's right.
But my eyes, I mean, he's at my eye level.
Okay.
I was kidding. Yeah, no, I get it. So Hav made the point of saying he thinks TJ Power is going to be the go-to guy tonight. Yes, this is Page's son.
Yeah.
And he's averaging 20 as a sophomore. That's pretty impressive. Any word on you guys think about TJ Power getting some minutes tonight, and why? I'm not sure why Hav thought that.
I don't know. Hav's predictions were what he said. Chastity, do your things. He thinks we should go to Saunders often and frequently in the post because they play 4 guards. I guess I don't know anything about California, the team. I mean, and he thinks we should go to Saunders, and he thinks Hav's prediction TJ Power is going to erupt for 15 points. I'm not sure what either of those are based on, but that's Hav, and he's somehow usually right on these weird predictions.
So Dave, what are your keys tonight besides hitting shots and moving the ball and being aggressive?
Yeah, I'm hoping my background is what Cal does today and not what the Who's do. But
they're not a 3-point shooting team.
They shoot threes,
but they're solid.
We have to shoot threes. We have to shoot a higher amount of threes. We have to get up to 20 threes. If we don't get to 20, that's kind of my key. I think we got to get to 20 attempts, and we got to make 9. I think 9 out of 22, something like that. It's on the road. It's late. Maybe, I think energy is huge for these guys. They've been out there since Monday, so hopefully they're acclimated.
Right.
Shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, exactly. It's easy. It's easy going that way, right? It's easy going.
They kind of have. Cal has this guy
right now. For the Cal guys, it's going to be an 8 o'clock tip. For us, it's
standard
11 o'clock tip.
Right.
Cal has this guy Petritis that's kind of like Andre Kirilenko, kind of like their glue guy, kind of does a little bit of everything. So kind of reminds me of a little bit better Rhodey, a little bit more physical, but kind of like that small forward guy. But I think what Doug said too, Saunders probably going to have 18 to 20. McNeely's probably going to have to hit 4 or 5 threes, unless one of those, some of the other Sharma can get hot, if Tane can get a streak. Yeah, they're all capable shooters. I think it just goes back, for me, it's how quickly they initiate offense, get up the floor, and actually look at the basket and make plays early. Because again, we just don't have, when we don't do that, that's when all of a sudden Louisville goes on that 15-0 run, or 15-2, because our offense just stagnates, because we're just not athletic enough at the guard position to go get shots under 8 on the shot clock. It just doesn't happen. So to me, that's the key.
We can't shoot under 20% like against Louisville and expect to win from 3.
No.
Right? And Tane was 0 for 5, I believe, from 3. And, okay, that happens. Do you guys expect, Dougie, do you expect to see Tane as much tonight? He played about 25, 26, 27 minutes, I believe.
Yeah, Tane's going to play a lot. He wasn't 0 for 5 from 3, was he? From 3?
Yeah, I think so.
Tane shot 5 threes that game?
0 for 3 from 3, I'm sorry. 0 for 5 from the floor.
Yeah, same. It's almost the same. I think Tane's going to play a lot. I think he's going to play a lot the rest of the year, and I'll tell you why. He's been there for 4 years. He's been a great trooper. He's been a great guy, and Ron's the interim head coach. He's not the coach. And I think these guys are going to show that appreciation. And I think Tane's going to, do what he can do with it. He's not going to win us games by himself, so to speak. But who's going to win us games by themselves, right? I think Tane's going to play a lot the rest of the year, and I think he should. Sorry, I'm a little bit sorry about the situation. Huh?
I love that you made it a popularity contest and not based on merit. No, I'm kidding, Dougie. I'm teasing.
No, I did. But popularity based on his history and work, and he stayed there and didn't transfer, didn't come in. I think it's
and how hard he's worked, right? And how he's been there, and he's known as a hard worker.
That's right.
And he's been playing well, right? He didn't shoot the ball great last game. That just happens sometimes. So hopefully he shoots it much better. But you got to love how aggressive he's being, and you got to be aggressive, as you were saying earlier, Dave, that these guys got to be in position to shoot. They got to be ready to shoot. You can't get them if you don't shoot them.
Yep.
Right?
Because what ends up happening is
what's the general feeling? I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, I mean, it's not been good lately. I mean, I've gone to a few of the games right before break, and the attendance was really bad for the I don't remember what game it was, but we were down at halftime, ended up covering. But it was sparse attendance. There was probably no students there. Not even the side main student section was filled up. So people are definitely more pessimistic this year, I'd say, than any of the other years that I've been at UVA. But I think that this stretch of games is really big for getting some excitement around going back into the SMU game when we're back on grounds and trying to drum up some attention from the student fan base.
Yeah, there's 2 big games, right? If we can win, and people are going to go support winners no matter what happens. That's just the nature of human behavior, right? So we can get some wins and string some wins together and prepare against SMU. Is a pretty good team, although they just got shellacked the other night. I think the ACC is outside of Duke, but not like a lot of really good teams, or we can string some wins together, be right in the thick of things come late February.
Yeah, but we've said this every year for the past 3 or 4 years, right? Like Tennessee was number 1 in the country. They scored 42 points last night against who, Dave? I forgot who they played.
Florida, who we also lost.
So they're it's just this college basketball thing. It's not like back in the 80s when you knew Georgetown and Carolina were going to be number 1 through 5 the whole year. It's an impossible predictor the way it works, right? There's not UNLV back in the day, Duke, whoever. You can't really predict the top 5 anymore. So it's kind of a crapshoot, and game to game.
Whoever has the longest paper, right, every year. Right, top guys. That's who's going to be the best team. I want to see Houston roll. I watched Houston play last night or the other night.
Yeah.
Oh, man, their defense is so good.
They just bludgeon you to death. Yeah.
Their defense is ridiculous. It reminded me of UVA's defense in the old days.
Yeah.
Old days, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago.
Justin Anderson, Akil Mitchell, that team. That's what they look like.
I watched UVA give up 4 points to Harvard and a half.
Yeah.
That defense was so ridiculous. Right? And Harvard didn't.
Oh, yeah.
They weren't the Harvard. They weren't great, but they weren't bad. So anyway, about to tip off in the if we haven't already. I don't know if Dave.
Oh,
next,
yeah.
The Kansas game's a little backed up, so it's not up on ESPN2 yet.
Okay.
Hey, thanks everybody for tuning in. We got
Yeah.
Niles Cooper, who's in Boston, but he's from Brooklyn. Chastity, I think first time.
We'll be back at the half. We'll see you guys soon.
I think it might be past my bedtime.
Let's see. I'm gonna try it, Spence. I'm gonna try.
We'll see. Maybe we can rally half for that one.
That's right.
If Virginia has a lead, I'll still be awake.
That's fair.
All right. We'll talk to you guys soon. Go
Wait,
Hoosiers.
predictions. Do the
Predictions.
numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, real quick predictions.
All right. We just got the notification. We got till 11:06.
11:06. All right.
So let's get some predictions. Dave, you're up.
All right. Well, they had a 2-game series to help London Parentis get back to the West Coast back in 16 and 17. Last time they played, Parentis had 14 and Kyle Guy had 17 in a low-scoring affair.
Low scoring, right? Yep.
So that means we gotta have McNeely go off today. I'll say 60-56. How about that?
Oh,
Kind of match
that's
that.
pretty good.
I'm assuming that's in favor of UVA, Dave.
I hope so.
Okay. You weren't answering intentionally.
I think it's 60-56 who's or we lose by 15 or more. I think it's something like that probably.
That's fair.
What you got, Spence?
There's an option strategy for that and what I do for a job, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll have to get you.
I've got a good feeling. I think that we're going to play. We're going to all be in our LRA matching shoes. I think we're going to play some inspired basketball. I think we're going to take it 71-66.
Ooh, that's a
Ooh.
like it.
And I think we're gonna kick off a good run right here. I think it's going to be the first of many.
Yeah, I remember Dave was talking about the game out there. The year before, California came to play in JPJ, and a buddy of mine took us all down in a private jet from New York. This is just a war story, guys, but stay with me. So we went Teterboro, Charlottesville, 9 p.m. game, met a bunch of friends, whatever. Overtime, Ty was a freshman. It was Ty's first year. We won in overtime, I believe. I think Ty was on the court. Maybe it's the second year. Why are you shaking your head, Mark? Ty was on the court.
Against Cal?
Maybe not. All right, whatever. Doesn't matter. My story, not yours.
Tell her how you want, Doug. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
So, maybe that was the next year. Anyhow, we go down it was a private, the whole thing, had a blast. We won in overtime at home. It was Jaylen Brown and all those guys. And
It was Malcolm Brogdon team that year. Yep.
All right, so pre-Ty. Ty was the next year. But I was there with Ty too. Anyhow, I was on the court at midnight. Right after the game, I was on JPJ's court, and I was home in Jersey City at 1:30 a.m. because of my friend. I'll say it. Skip Walker brought us all down and took it. We had a great time, the crew, and there's nothing like sitting feet on the floor in JPJ, Marky.
I hope you take me there one time, Dougie.
You're royalty.
No, wait. So what's your prediction then, Fresh?
I don't have a prediction. I'm just gonna watch the game. It was Cal. Oh, it's Cal. That's right. No, I think Dave. It's going to be 55-50 Virginia. It's not going to be fun, so don't be excited.
I was at the game with Kyle Guy and Prentice had really good games, and I was just in awe of college basketball at the time. And I have roots in California, so it was exciting. It was great to be there, and just the level of play was just amazing and exciting. We weren't great because that was the year that we lost. What's his name? The kid that was
Austin Nichols. Yeah.
Thank you, Dave. And he
wow.
speed dial, Dave. But it was still so exciting. It was such a fun game, and it was an exciting game because I think we were losing a lot of it and came back. And Kyle played really well and hit some big shots. And London was just so good, just so poised in his backyard. Well, he's Southern California. That was Northern California. So it was a great time. It was a great experience. But I like. All right. So really, how I really feel is that we're going to win 54-50. But I'm going to say for half, I'm going to do a half prediction too. We're going to lose 53-49.
That's a total half prediction.
All
You
right,
got
we're
5
tipping off right
predictions.
now.
All right, we're
Let's get
tipping
it
off.
going.
Let's go.
Thanks,
By
everybody.
the way, what I love about those teams, Mark, I love Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is Martin, the coach? Who is
Yeah.
he?
Yeah,
Kwanzaa, yeah.
It looked, I was sitting there and I'm looking at their bench, and it was like NWA was coaching the Cap, but I don't mean that in a bad way. They were just like, man, coming at you. Like I love their coach. I was like, I want to play for those coaches. Just the way they went about it. I'm not sure what happened to Kwanzaa, but that's another story.
Doug, I got one question before we kick off. When you sit courtside, does someone bring you water, or do you just go behind the bench and grab it? Does one of the managers personally come over to you with your name on a cup?
Not a manager. You have a side door you can go to and get what you need.
Gotcha.
No, it's not great. It's not great service courtside. I'd rather sit somewhere else, to be honest with you.
Well, you get great service on the bench with chains at the games.
Sugar Shane, that's right. Sugar Shane got us the water. Not good courtside service in JPJ. The big detractor.
Let's call Carla. Send an email to Carla.
We'll fix that.
All right, everyone. Thanks for
All
joining
right.
us.
We'll see
All right,
you
see you at the half.
halftime,
Go
which
for it.
might be tomorrow on the East Coast.
Do your best.
Good points, Spence.
Go Hoos.